After striking out for the majority of Phase 4, the MCU takes a relatively safe swing, disguised as a bold swing, by staking out two of their most recent and popular acquisitions and money-balling the shit out of them. One of them's funny looking and the other one's an old man, but my god they get on base. Deadpool and Wolverine follows the story of the aforementioned heroes as they fight this one guy from the TVA, from destroying their respective timelines with some third act special effects heavy MacGuffin. With the fate of the world on the line, they wander around the void from Loki Season 1 like they've got all the time in the world, bickering and fighting like an old married couple, while openly commenting on how they're bickering and fighting like an old married couple. Cards on the table, I might be a little harsh on this, as it sits in the centre of a Venn diagram of things I used to enjoy but now kind of bug me. Ryan Reynolds, the MCU in general, and the fucking multiverse. That said, I had fun with this. That said, the more I think about it, the more I can't see why. The plot is the generic MCU one. Gather a bunch of superhumans, give them a test that they biff almost immediately, then follow them around for an hour and a half, watching them pointlessly fight a bunch of dudes and themselves before throwing them at the third act special effects heavy MacGuffin that we're told will definitely kill our hero, but doesn't. Ryan Reynolds spends a solid 2 hours plus doing his usual stick, laying it on thick enough to make the first Deadpool film look subtle in its humour. Meanwhile, a solid string of cameos that I won't spoil here are paraded out frequently enough to release endorphins to cover the entire runtime and make you leave the theatre feeling satisfied. In interviews, they've described this film as a double-act comedy, which it isn't, with Jackman as the straight man, but in reality Reynolds just talks uninterrupted for 2 hours straight, and when Jackman can get a word in sideways, he only manages the odd fuck off or to call someone bub, between being slapped across the face with another one of Reynolds' dick jokes. When they're not saying crook shit or pointing out how crazy and daring it is for them to be saying crook shit in a Disney movie, they take regular breaks for two near immortal beings to get into fisticuffs and stab each other over and over, which is fun and entertaining the first time it happens but gets old pretty quick. It reminded me of the recent Paris Olympics, where watching a metal horse ride down a river is hardcore as fuck for the first minute and a half, but after 20 minutes of this you start to question what the fuck is going on and why. I'm surprising myself about how down I am about a film that I essentially enjoyed, but they've positioned this as the one that gets them out of their post-Endgame slump. Don't get me wrong, I like the MCU and I'll watch them all because it's basically a sunk cost now, but there's nothing here that substantially separates it from recent fare. The whole world and its mum shit on the Marvels, including me. And my mum. But while the rest of the world and their mothers are lining up around the block to give Deadpool and Wolverine biscuits and blowjobs, I can't see what the difference is. Superhumans that can't die punch and stab the shit out of each other to no effects for 2 hours, then survive the special effects heavy MacGuffin at the end through the power of franchisability. 5 out of 10.